about to be a really long night in the Western Star. It's 8:30 at night right now. One of my customers just called me. They got a truck broke down up by the Washington border, like almost right on the Washington border, about 3 hours north of here. So figure 3 hours of driving up, 3 hours driving back, half hour to hook up, unhook each. About a 7-hour round trip this was going to be, and it's already 8:30 tonight. And as soon as I just said that, I realized I already said that about 5 seconds ago. So yeah, it's gonna be a long night. And this thing's all good to go. Should probably shut the doors. By the way, this truck has been beat up and down some crazy rough roads. It breaks all the bulbs out of there from all the bouncing and banging. This thing has been solid as can be. Everything is still completely smooth. Even the drawers has got all the weight in them. No problem at all. And this thing isn't even mounted in here. It's literally just sitting here to bounce around and get all jumbled up, and it is holding very solid. Very happy with that. Okay, let's go. I didn't shut the door. It's gonna be a long night. So luckily today I took the day off to catch up on stuff around the house, catch up on personal stuff, catch up on all that because it's been so busy. And I didn't work all day, which is good because now I'm about to work all night. But my day off, I mean, I didn't work, but I was still up doing stuff all day, which why it's a good thing this thing has a sleeper on it, because if I get tired tonight, I can stop and take a nap. In all reality, as long as this truck is back to the dealership by tomorrow morning when they open at like 8, it doesn't matter when before it gets there, because no one's going to be there anyway. So yeah, sleeper might be getting used, but like I said, luckily I didn't work all day, or I'd have had to turn this down because there just wouldn't be no way. So we are heading out. Beautiful view of the mountains and the sunset. You can't see at the moment, but I can, and it's wonderful. It ain't so bad out here. We just stopped at Love's here in Madras. Got some road snacks and waters, and trucks parked down there, so keep headed north. It is busy here tonight. There are trucks packed into everywhere, so that's why I got that parking spot just right there. There's no fuel pumps there, so just nice place for me to park. Busy night. Everyone's trying to shut down for the night and find a place to park. And I'm just getting started. One out, another one in. Just a PSA to all the truck drivers out here. This is as fast as you need to be going in a truck stop. I know it's really important to get from there to there as fast as you can and grab as many gears in between, but this speed is good. They will still have plenty of roller dogs up there in the cart when you get there. You'll be okay. So we're just starting up the hill here. This is Cow Canyon. Big long hill way out here in the middle of nowhere. And in the summertime when it's 100 degrees up here, trucks overheat and break down climbing up the hill. In the wintertime when it's all snow and ice, they wreck coming down the hill. So this Western Star and Zacklift setup have been up here many times. The camera is showing, but all the red flashing lights, like hundreds and hundreds of them out there, are all the big wind farm. Those are all the windmills. We're up on top of a high kind of prairie heading down into it. So yeah, kind of weird in the middle of the night. You just see I bet it's probably thousands of just red lights flashing out in the middle of nowhere. Well, we found our truck here on the side of the road. Highway's over there a good bit. They actually found a really nice turnout to get it parked into with plenty of room. They came up and picked up the trailers. This thing was pulling 2 trailers, so they sent another truck up to get the driver and the 2 trailers. And when I was headed up about an hour ago, I passed them headed south. I could tow the whole combination, but the trailers and the driver are going to a different destination than the truck, so they sent one up to get all of them out of here, and now we get this. We can't do the U-bolt forks on this. I mean, you can get back in there and get the U-bolt forks, but it's much easier just to chain sling these off the back here, which we can do. And the other option, of course, is to hook it from the front, pull the drive shafts and pull it forward, which, since we have a 3-hour tow back, that is a really big parachute to drag for 3 hours. These trucks do have, on these Kenworths, they do have a pretty strong fairing setup. And this one looks really new and in good shape with no like damaged parts or anything, except for that missing bolt right there. See that? That's the kind of thing that'll get you a lost fairing. This one has it. Any more missing? That's the type of thing you gotta look for. Lower mount's good. Yeah. See, this one's nice and solid. This one over here, not solid. That will not make a 3-hour. I mean, it'd make a 3-hour trip if I go slow enough, but I can clamp and strap this. If all I have to do is strap the top down. See, on these Kenworths, they have this big system here, which actually holds that really, really well. A lot of the Freightliners and Internationals don't have anything near as robust as this, so you got to tie all this in place too. But on this one, I'm thinking if we just clamp this, might even just be able to strap it to this. Good thing we're not on the side of the road. And we'll just be able to hold that just fine. So if you look in here, you can see what happened. There's no more fan belt on there anymore. And up in here, that's all the belt material wound up and bound into the fan clutch. So fan clutch is all locked together, which doesn't matter because there's no belt on it, but that sent the truck into D-rate and no more go, and here we are. Now make sure the hood's latched on both sides. Why are you not latching? There you go. Because we're going to be towing it backwards, we don't want the wind to catch it and flip it up. So when I pulled up here, the hood was unlatched on one side. And that's very common on a broke down truck, is that they open the hood to see what went wrong and then never latch it all the way back down or at all because it's broke down. Hood's just going to come back open. But if you tow them like that, you can end up losing a hood. Come on down, under reach. Time to do some stuff. Get to chain sling with my new receivers. These are the, I don't know if you saw in the other video, these are the final draft production version of the new Zacklift receivers. Should be in stock, ready to go sometime this summer. We're gonna have to spin them around and stand them up, so do that. See how they are now, they're in narrow and on the high side, because the last thing I towed is a pickup, and to get into its rear axle housing under there away from the shock mounts and all that, I needed the forks in narrower, and then having them up high allowed the diff to clear everything right here. So they're on the narrow and high configuration. Whoop. Load of hay. So we can take these, flip them. Yeah, we're gonna have to swap sides too. and they are going to stand upright like that. And this one's going to stand like that. Put our pins back in. Outside. Outside, and we might need to put the risers in because that pin will hitch on there. We'll see. Oh no, it should be fine. Can actually even bump in a good bit. Oh no, we'll have to put the risers because it's got to come up high enough to tighten the chains, and we'll be right here. So I'll grab risers. You were right here. There you are. One of you. Of course, the other one's buried. I've been doing some funky stuff lately where I've had like this on one side and this on the other, like a tall one on one side and a short one on the other. There's just been some super goofy stuff. So normally the different like matches are next to each other because you always put them back together. Not been the case lately. If it wasn't for that pedal hitch in the way, you just chain sling off of this hook right here. But since that's there, we want that extra clearance, we'll throw it in. My sling chains, which are going to be buried in the bottom of this, dang it, because last thing I did was use all the big recovery chains for big recovery job. So my sling chains are at the bottom. Hold on. Look at under all of the other chains, because I did not put these away in the headache rack like I should have. When I got done with the last job, I'm like, I'll do it later. Yeah, I didn't. So, how do I do these ones? I go and grab frame there, and this wraps the frame so nicely right there. And then I go under to that edge, make sure there's no electrical wires or anything, and we come up and drop in. Then we get to the other side and see that something's completely different on this side, and we can't do that. Like that wire right there, is it going to be in the way? Just misses. Okay. And look at that. It goes right between those bolt heads right there. On this one we got to go inside of the taillight wiring. See, right there we had to get inside of that. This side, it's the airbag up there, airbag here, taillight wiring on this side. Now we come up, drop it in, and yeah, that's good. Okay. That'll do. So now we'll grab our axle chains and tie the axles up. Those ones are up here where they should be. See, all these spaces right here are where all those other big red hook chains are supposed to be, that are just thrown in my side box because I was being lazy, and then they wouldn't have been in my way. So let me take these, really. And we lay this one on the frame. Take this big one down, hook our axle, and then hook our chain to it. And that can just hang down there. So you'll notice I don't have all my strobe lights and flashing lights on here because there's no need for them. The road is way over there, and then there's the paved shoulder of the highway, so we're well off of the road, well out of anything, and there's a bunch of trucks going really fast down a dark and twisty canyon. The last thing they need to be doing is staring at a bunch of flashy lights over here. I want them watching the road over there. So really, I should probably shut off all these lights and just use this one on top of the camera right here. What would actually be best for me, because then they got no reason to look over here at all. It's one thing like I kind of look at with like trucks and, you know, oh, that's wiring harness right there. Make sure we're on top of that. Yep. But like emergency vehicles getting hit on the side of the highway. You think like how much time I want. How'd you get all goofy like that? Okay, there. How many vehicles drive by a spot? Pick any random spot on the shoulder of a highway. How many vehicles drive by that all day, every day? And no vehicle ever goes off and crashes through that spot. But then you park an emergency vehicle right there, a tow truck or whatever, and turn on a whole bunch of flashing lights, and they get hit. You really think that's a coincidence that that random spot on the side of the highway has had how many tens of thousands or millions of cars drive by it without ever veering off into it until something was parked there flashing a bunch of strobe lights? Don't really think so. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. So since we're so far over here off the side of that, we don't need the distraction of those. I just need enough light to see, which in all reality is on this camera right here. But anyway, so now we pick this up, make sure those pull tight, make sure the chains settle good and are sitting everywhere we want, not sitting on anything under there, not sitting on anything over there. We're good. Perfect. See, the bags are not stretched out, hanging off the shocks or anything like that. These don't have to be like all the way up. They just don't want to be hanging all the way down on the bottom shock mounts because they're not made for that. You rip the shocks apart. And then a lot of people also ask, how come I don't got to tie down or tie up the other side? And it's, as you can see right now, truck suspension doesn't have a bunch of articulation like this. It's really rigid side to side, because if it easily moved like this, well, trucks would just tip over when they go around a corner. So it doesn't do that. You will see me sometimes though, if I fork or U-bolt fork the rear axle or anything like that. I'll put both of those on the front axle just because I have both of them. But if I got two axles hanging, I'll just put one on each. So I only have two of those chains. Okay, so we are, give a little more height right there. Probably about where we're going to tow it. So we'll call that good. And we got to strap down that fairing. Let's go see what we can do. Get right behind. So in this rubber there's a rib right here and a rib right here, and if you get between it, you see you can squeeze that rib. and it's not like pinched tight on the rubber, but it can't go anywhere. It's not like I'm saying pinching through the rubber, but it can't go anywhere because it's got a rib on either side. So when we hook our strap here to here, we can hold that in. I want to go up just a little higher on that one. There. And we do the same thing on the other side. And if you're wondering where I got these clamps that have this long reach and have these rubber pads on the end that's missing from this one right here, I found them at Lowe's. I actually want to go back and get some more. So we don't want to pull too hard, so we don't want to bend this off to the inside. We just want to get it so when the wind's blowing on it, it's got something holding it back. These ones I bet will be fine. Oh, that's what I should do. Yeah, that's way better. Okay, do it on the other side too. Man, why didn't I think of that first? It's like so much more solid. Okay, these I'm going to move then. I don't think I need them there. Might just ditch them completely. I guess I could, because if that bolt wasn't missing, I wouldn't put anything on this, so yeah, that should be good. We'll just watch it in the camera if the camera decides to work. Then we got to put these up. Should work. Spring's getting no good in this one. Don't want to retract anymore. Oh, another comment, since I'm listening to it right now. People ask why there's an air leak in this part of that truck. They hear it leaking air all the time. It's not leaking air. The sound you're hearing is the hydraulic fluid passing through the two valve bodies right here. These are two separate valve bodies fed by two separate hydraulic pumps off the truck. Two completely different systems. This is one, this is another. And you're hearing the fluid come in through, the big line would be the return, so this should be the line it's coming in on. Yeah, this is the feed line, and then there's two lines for each of the levers, you know, two directions to send it out to run the hydraulics, and then the big one is the return line, and there's that set up on each valve body here. So you're hearing, when you're not running the levers, it bypasses through there, and you're hearing it hit the bypass and go through. Not an air leak, hydraulic fluid. Full charge. thing has, it's supposed to have strobe lights off the back. These are supposed to turn on when you flip this switch, but huh. Oh well, I don't use them anyway. There they are. Notice the clean new straps for the ones to tie the steering wheel straight, not dirty ones in their cab. I used to be really good about keeping them in separate compartments in the truck there, but it's not enough space. There, we'll go to you. Oh, look at it, holes right here. And then once these straps turn into not so clean anymore, we'll make them the new outside straps and get new ones to be the inside straps. This is just my safety, in case all else goes wrong. This can catch it from going too far. You're supposed to do the loop, but sometimes it doesn't have enough room. Like that time. So, it's just a safety, it's not holding it. Check. Mirror covers are tight, not going to fly off. Those mirror covers sometimes fly off backwards. No damage on either of these ones that like where they're not holding on. Hood latches are shut, both doors are shut all the way. We got clearance on this end, which is good. We got to spin around and get up on the highway over here. Final piece of the puzzle. Oh, now I created a tripping hazard. I don't know why I pulled that first. Okay, as narrow as those are set together, there's not much forward and back movement there. That should be plenty. Lockout kit, height stick, iver tool, grabby pulley tool. That is its official name, by the way. Okay, shut that down. We've got our light bar on. Steering wheel is tied with the safety. Hood is shut, mirrors are solid, fairing is tied. We're gonna have to watch that. That is something I gotta remember. We're chain slung off of here. You can see how this is just being cradled right into the back plate of these receivers to make these your back plate, like I said. We're not touching here, we've got clearance. I could even lower that down a bit and put one more chain link in each one and it'd get it off of there, but that's plenty. Safety chains on. Gotta shut that door over there now that I put more chains in my way. The remote is back. We're ready to hit the road. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk over here before I make this swing around through here and make sure there's nothing like goofy in the ground. I don't want to run over and pop a tire or something. But yeah, I know I did that super slow. It took like 25 minutes, I think it was, somewhere in there. And I know you can do it in 37 seconds and you're super cool, but it's tomorrow now, I believe. Yeah. Oh, you're down here. Tomorrow. And ain't no need to get in a hurry after midnight doing something on the side of the road and forget something, miss something. So walk your way through it, take your time, make sure you got everything. Where's the rush? So this all looks good. I can brighten you up so you can see, and then dim you back down so you don't blind me. All right, let's get out of here. Okay, we have got our PTO is off. We got our light bar on since we're going to be crossing out the highway and then going slow up this hill. I give plenty of swing. Window down so we can hear cool truck noises. Maybe not enough swing. They don't like our swing. Camera is behaving. Push this truck over into the corner a little more. I'm gonna try again. So I have any problems going over this hump, I'll be stuck in the highway. Oh, now I've got clear view. Watch everything in the camera to make sure it's all good. Truck's coming over just fine. Oh, my freaking Jake brake's still on. Okay. Safety chains didn't pull tight. Nobody came while we were doing that. Moving up here in the passing lane and then we'll kill all our lights. Alright, it's time for me and my spaceship cockpit here to spend a little time together, so we'll see you when we get to the drop-off. Unless something cool happens in between, then I'll show you that too. But it's the middle of the night, it's really dark, we can't see anything, so probably not. It is 2:30 in the morning. We made it back into the town of Madras. Look at all these pretty lights in the trees. Got about another half hour to go where we unload this truck, and then another half hour from there, once we're done with that, to my house. So half hour time unload, put everything away. We got another 2:30 in the morning, hour and a half to go. It'll be a long night. Oh, we made it, and the gate's locked. I've been here in the middle of the night quite a few times. I've never seen that gate locked. Now it's locked, and there's a big phone number there. It says after hours call. Nobody's there. Just a voicemail. So now we have to figure out what we're doing with that thing, because I don't want to go all the way home with it and come all the way back in the morning, because I have other things I have to do in the morning that I can't come back here. So that'd be a half-hour drive back here, 30 minutes, get all unhooked and put away and all stuff. If I drive back, it's an hour and a half in the morning that I don't have. I have an appointment I have to be at first thing. So even if I slept here, they open at 7, and I pulled right in, got unhooked, I would not be able to get home and get to my appointments on time. So, I don't know. Guess who got the code? And it wasn't these guys who answered. I made a couple phone calls and I found the right people who have the answer. So, we're in. Just gotta go shut the gate behind me so no one else is in. But we got it backed in here with all the rest. Like, I missed a couple spaces, but it's 3:30 in the morning, so that's close enough. So, gotta get all unhooked, everything put away, under reach folded up, and it is tired, so I wish I could just like snap my fingers and it was done. Now it's so late that I don't know if that really worked or I'm just dreaming, so I'm gonna go to bed now. Night.